Hi, everybody, and welcome to Montgomery Focus, the show that focuses on all of the cool things that are happening in Montgomery, Alabama. We're coming to you this time from the historic Union Station. It is the home for the Montgomery Convention and Visitor Bureau, and actually the center for all of the things that are Capitol cool here in Alabama's capital city. Now, did you know that the city of Montgomery is receiving worldwide exposure, and it's with the help of a member of the original Fab Four? We're joined today by High Def. They are a group of talented musicians from Montgomery's Booker T. Washington Magnet High School, and let's meet them one by one. First, welcome to Montgomery Focus, and tell us who you are and what instrument you play.
I'm Willis Walker, play the trumpet, and I'm a senior at BTW Magnet High School.
Okay, Willis.
I'm Albert Allenbeck. I play the saxophone, and I'm a freshman at the University of New Orleans.
All right, Albert.
I'm Dakota Reeves. I play the bass guitar, and I'm a junior at Booker T. Washington Magnet High School.
Mr. Reeves.
I'm Sam Boswell, and I play lead guitar, and I'm a freshman at Auburn University.
Okay, Sam, War Eagle.
My name is Trevor Walker, and I play the drum set, and I'm a freshman at South Alabama University.
Okay, glad to have you here as well. So tell us, High Def, what is it? It's, I said, a group of musicians from Booker T. Washington Magnet High School, but can you elaborate a little bit more? Albert, you got the mic, so you're up first this time.
Well, High Def started as the Booker T. Washington Jazz Ensemble. I think the first version was in late 2008, and we started as a quartet. We played one gig, and then
you played a gig. Okay. That's a job for all of us us non-music types.
Well, we had a performance, but I don't want to call it a performance because if we're just playing for people eating dinner or something.
Okay.
You know,
did you get paid? Is what we want to know.
I think the school got paid, so that's why we called it a gig.
Then that was a gig.
And then in the spring, we formed a larger ensemble. It was 7 members. It was some instruments and a vocalist to play for the inauguration of our mayor, Todd Strange.
Okay.
And then we played various other, I keep wanting to say gig. We had other performances the rest of that school year. And then later that year, so that's the fall of 2009, High Def actually formed from members of the jazz ensemble. And we started doing private performances where we got paid.
Oh, that's a really gig.
A good gig. So, you know, fast food money. So we High Def and the jazz ensemble are the same thing. Okay. It just depends on who gets paid.
Now, you guys tell me, how often do you guys get to play together, and are you serious musicians? Music is your first love, or is music just something you're doing as a hobby, and you've got the microphone already down there, so you tell us, and then I want to hear the answer from each of you.
Okay, I play every chance I get. I play for my church. This year was my first year playing with High Def, and it was a real fun experience. We played with Grammy Award winning Kirk Whalum, and that was a fun experience for me because, like I said, playing with church, it's fun, but you're limited to just the church. So getting that experience and playing out in front of people was really fun.
Good deal.
One of the things that helps with our group is we were all in the same show band class, which is, you know, kind of just a bigger scale of the jazz band, just a much larger group. And so, you know, every day in class we're playing with each other already. We're already performing and practicing and all that. But then, aside from that, before school, after school, rehearsing, we probably could have performances or gigs every few weeks. Especially this last year, we had a good number of them. And I know for me, that was great because, you know, if I'm not playing, if we don't have a performance somewhere, then it doesn't matter because I'm at home playing.
Sure.
So it just, you know, it's just a difference in you got an audience or you don't. But
now, how many hours a day are you devoting to the craft? I mean, more than 30 minutes, more than 3 hours, more than 5 hours, and does music ever get old, or you guys love it so much that you wouldn't want to do anything else if you even had the opportunity to do so?
Oh yeah, definitely. It never gets old. There's so many different possibilities. Even within one song, you know, you have so many different things to try out. But you know, I know me personally, I could never get tired of it, and definitely, I mean, probably a few hours a day, and that's with class time, and then that's probably an hour or two at home that night.
Sure, sure.
So,
Man in the middle, how about you? First, remind me again what instrument you play, and then also, are you devoting the same amount of time as your colleagues?
I'm Dakota and I play the bass.
Okay.
I can just walk around the house and I'll just pick up an instrument and just play it. I just love music that much. I can just live with music and food, you know? I don't need no TV, I don't need no telephone, all I need is music.
You need the internet, don't you? Or
No.
that's the other teams that I've been meeting?
I like it, but I don't need it. Like I need music. Like I can't even give you exact time of a day that I play the instrument, like an exact hour, because I can just walk around the house and if I see the piano, I'm just gonna play on the piano for a couple of minutes or an hour or whatever. Or the guitar, I pick that up also. So basically, I just love music way more than anything.
Sure. Are you as bad as? Do you have it as bad as your? And you would need the microphone, I guess, too. Do you have it as bad as your bandmates have it, or not? And tell me again what instrument you play.
Oh, I play trumpet, and yeah, I think I have it about as bad as them. It's definitely my first love. With being at BTW and with good musicians, I'm always wanting to feel like I gotta get better and kind of keep up, and I'm always challenging. And my band director, Patrick Darby, trumpet player also, so he's really staying on me to get better and improve, and just any chance I get, just pick up my horn, play something that I heard somebody else do. I try to sit there and figure it out. Especially him, really good, so I gotta try to keep up. And
how long have you been playing? Is this especially the trumpet? I want to say.
Trumpet, I started in 6th grade with Amy Jackson at Gary Elementary.
All right. Shout out to Miss Jackson.
Yeah, and that was actually the only instrument I knew how to blow. Like I couldn't make a sound on anything else. So she just said trumpet was meant for you, and took it and ran.
Now, isn't that hard to play? Because I mean, you got to have your lips super taut and do the.
When you first start, it's kind of hard to get in because it takes a lot of lip muscle and you get tired really easy. But once you get a little bit more experience, it becomes second nature.
You know who Dizzy Gillespie was?
Yeah.
Now, do all trumpeters lose that elasticity, and is that something you're concerned about, or
I don't really puff my cheeks out like him.
Okay.
He does it. It works for him. He's amazing. I would love to play like him.
Yeah. But you don't necessarily want to look like him.
No, not me.
I got you. I got you. Me either. And Mr. Allenback, you lost the ability to play some instruments for a little while. Is that right?
Oh yes, I got my wisdom teeth taken out, and for 2 weeks I couldn't play the horn, so I played a lot of piano, but on the music, it's not only my first love, it's my only love. You know, I've had to, see, with human love things change. But this is an unconditional love.
Unconditional love. The man and his sax. Go ahead, preach.
See, there's a saying that a musician's wife has to get used to being the second woman because she always will be the other woman to music because music doesn't change. Music's always there for you. And I plan to be a professional musician. The goal is not to be famous or rich. It's just to be happy, really. Right. To support myself. Playing instruments, and during the school year it gets hard sometimes to put forth a lot of time to practice, but it's always at least 2 hours a day, on weekends more, and that's a dedicated focused practice. Sometimes it's easy to get lost and just fool yourself into thinking you're practicing, but you're just playing, right. And there's a difference. And but now in the summer I consider it a full-time job. Sometimes I wake up late. I mean, I'll get up at 12, but if I'm playing by 1, I'll be playing till 10 o'clock because I'm trying to add other woodwinds to the arsenal so I can be ready for anything.
Is there, in each of you, do you have like a quiet room in your house that's soundproof, or your loved ones and your relatives enjoy hearing the music, or even if they don't enjoy it, it doesn't matter, they're going to hear it anyway? My
parents put up with every grunt, shriek, growl, howl, all sorts of cacophonous noises that are just...
Cacophonous? That's a magnet school word if I've ever heard one.
Just all sorts of sounds.
Now, where are the are young female musicians excluded from being members of High Def, or how did this happen that it just became an all-male thing?
Well,
High Def is an equal opportunity employer.
The students from the legal magnet made you say that for sure, but that begs the question: where are they, and why aren't they?
well, that's a pretty good question. I know this year specifically, all of show band, it was all male, and that's generally where we pull people to be in the jazz band or to be in High Def is from this show band. But this past year, it was all male, and so that there were no females to select. But definitely, if someone knows how to play their instrument and can definitely keep up with everybody, then male, female, it doesn't matter. If you can do it, then
Yeah, there are a lot of girls that in the other music magnets that are phenomenal musicians.
Right.
So it's not just but it may be just our styles don't quite meet yet.
Sure.
If they haven't been exposed to that music.
Now, 3 of you have already received your diplomas from Booker T. Washington and are going on to college. So what does that mean for High Def once you guys go off to campus?
Leader?
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this year it seems like we had the continuing members, me and Bill.
Yeah. Yeah. Get the
Okay.
microphones from the
well,
old
it
head.
seems like we have a lot more weight to pull.
Definitely.
Considering that we're losing 3 great members. Like Albert, he started me. This is my 2nd year in High Def. Albert started me like that summer, my freshman. I was coming to BTW. He's harassing me on Facebook. You know how to play the bass. You know how to play chords. You know how to walk. You know how to do all this and all this. I was like, yeah. So I have to see that I have to push new students to strive to be the best at what they do. So I see that's what me and Bill have to carry on. We have to carry on the great tradition, I guess.
And this is actually my first year. Yeah, I'm a senior, and he's been in a year longer than me. But I kind of still feel like I'm learning the ropes to it and everything, still learning. But I think I'm to the point where I would be not really comfortable, but I can help lead in some other young talent. I'm young too, but yeah.
Now, will you let the old grads come back every once in a while when there's a gig, or
Definitely.
That's just splitting the money and no need to do that?
No, I want all the money for myself. No, definitely. Whenever they want to come back, I'm all open to it.
Sure.
Yeah.
And is there like a farm team of young musicians maybe at Baldwin who are aspiring to become High Def members one day, or it doesn't work that way?
My little brother actually over there is
Hey, little brother.
He's a trumpet player also, and
Okay.
he's like at my throat trying to make sure that I don't slip up, and he ended up getting better than me, so he can try to take my spot. So I gotta kind of
Sibling rivalry.
Yes, definitely.
Gotta watch
we
out for
hope
it.
that because we do performances in the community, and that's the real goal. The money's nice, but on gigs when we're doing it for the school and we don't even get the money, the real reason we do it is to draw attention to us, and maybe some kid will see us and say, I want to do that. Like I saw Amon Robinson. He's a graduate of BTW. I saw him perform at a showcase 2006 or 2007. I was in the 7th or 8th grade, and I was like, I want to do that. I want to get good enough. So hopefully we have that inspirational power.
Sure. Starting with the drummer down there way at the end, will you be majoring in music or a music-related field when you go off to college, or you're going to academics or more traditional academics afterwards?
Yeah, I won't be majoring in music. My freshman year, I'm going to be in engineering, computer engineering. I was going to major in music. I got a scholarship to West Alabama, but I turned it down, unfortunately.
It turned it down to go to where?
South Alabama.
South Alabama, okay. Down in Mobile.
Yes, sir.
So now, will you be in any of the music groups down there as an extracurricular activity, or this is your swan song, so to speak?
If I hear about, I haven't heard about any music groups on campus, but if I do, I will join. I will, yeah.
Good deal.
Yeah, I will.
Sir, how about you? Will you be a music major or not?
I won't be a music major. I'm majoring in civil engineering, but music is definitely not going anywhere.
Yeah, and I'm sure music is very, very difficult, and I appreciate everything that you guys can do with instruments, but did I hear computer engineering and civil engineering?
Yes, sir.
You're jumping into some pretty rigorous academics. I'm sure BTW's prepared you well.
Absolutely.
Will you do music extracurricularly or not?
Definitely. I've heard about there's a Auburn Knights jazz band that plays up there in Auburn. That's somewhat tied to the school, but not completely. I'm definitely thinking about auditioning to be in that. It's very similar to our show band at BTW, so I'm definitely looking for that. And it also helps one of my roommates is going to be one of the other bass players we had in show band who graduated with us, and so definitely just having another musician in the apartment. Music's definitely not going anywhere or leaving my life anytime soon.
Good deal. Albert, you said you are going to major in music.
I am. I'm going to go to the University of New Orleans and major in jazz studies. Of course, that's up for debate. I might go into education. The main reason I'm going to New Orleans is for the city itself, because there's tons of jams down there. There's tons of.
I'd heard that
networking is.
That there's a little bit of
phenomenal.
music down there.
There's
Sure.
a little bit.
Just a little bit.
But I'm psyched. Even if I wasn't majoring in music, I would still try to become a musician, but not through I don't think you really need a degree to become a musician. You might need a degree to be qualified to teach music and stuff.
Right.
But in the old times, they didn't have schools for music. They went out and networked and just got human experience. They wasn't in a classroom, and that's what I want to do.
Sure. The last time I was there were musicians in the middle of the street playing on plastic drums.
Yes, sir.
Maybe it was a gig because they were out there trying to collect money, but I'm glad that you're going to be down there continuing your music tradition. The two non-graduates, are you guys going to, when you go to college, will you pursue music education or not?
I'm going to major in mathematics.
In mathematics, okay.
But I'm a minor in music. I'm always going to live music regardless. It doesn't matter if I'm anything. I can be an astronaut. I'm going to be in space with a guitar or something. It really doesn't matter.
I do hope to major in music or some type of music education. I want to be a band director, band teacher. This always been a really big passion of mine.
Good deal. Now, Dakota, you got a musical background in your family, is that correct? Tell us about that.
Okay. Well, my granddad, he was a country guy, and he used to sit there on the porch and play the guitar, and all the guys from the neighborhood used to come along and listen to him play. So he bought my uncle a guitar, and he started playing on so on. So my mom and my auntie, they all sing. My uncle, he owns a blues group, I guess. They play R&B and all that. The name of it is Reef Sound of Soul, is my last name. And all my cousins, older cousins, they all play instruments. We have a trombone player, bass guitar player, saxophonist.
But you're the best in the family, right?
We're all like.
Oh, the diplomat! I love it.
They sing. We all sing. Everybody in my family, grown from my granddad, we have some type of talent.
Good deal. Well, speaking of talent, you guys had your talent captured forever in video form, and we'd like to share with the audience right now the video production of Next, and then we'll be right back. All right, that was really, really impressive and fantastic. We told everybody at the beginning of the show that it was thanks to a member of the Fab Four. Do you guys know who the Fab Four are? Okay, tell us about the John Lennon bus and how it was connected to the video next.
Well, the John Lennon bus is a nonprofit, state-of-the-art, $2.5 million recording studio on wheels. It's a bus, but it's a state-of-the-art recording studio. It's a sound bus, and it's supported by Yoko Ono. There's a lot of money there, and a whole bunch of sound companies, Sony, Avid, Apple, tons of companies, and they go around the United States in the bus and go to different schools, and they let kids tour the bus, get a hands-on view of what it's like to mix, and the sound engineers show them a whole bunch of stuff. And at a select few schools, they'll let them record an original composition. It has to be an original song on the bus, and then they'll produce a music video to go along with the sound, throw it up on their YouTube page, and you get to live digitally long after you are dead.
And hopefully
it took a morbid twist there, but it's the truth.
It certainly did. Bill, you want to say something?
I was just going to tell that with the different gigs we did, we were able to raise a lot of money for our band program at BCW, and our band director, Mr. Darby, thought that it would have been a really good experience and treat for us to be able to record on the bus. So he was able to get in contact with some people and talk to the bus and get them back to the school for a second time so that we could record the song.
Now, I've seen a lot of young musicians do their own thing on YouTube, and the production values are woeful, but this actually looked pretty decent. And Bill, how hard was it and I'm sorry, Trevor, how hard was it to play the drums that you were playing in that video?
It wasn't that hard. I don't know, I was just playing around with my sticks in my own little world, playing around.
There used to be a movie called Mo Better Blues that showcased a jazz band, and they needed to use a real drummer in the band because when they synced up to play against the song, they thought an actor or a non-drummer wouldn't be able to make the right movement. So was it hard or not, or you just went with it and didn't have to try to make sure that you were going down when the drum beat was being heard?
Well, I played it out when we were recording, so I kind of had in my mind that I was like on an actual set, so it wasn't really that hard once I had that picture in my mind.
Mo Better Blues was actually what was going through my mind when we were recording it. Right. That's one of my favorite movies, and that's Jeff Tane Watts on drums.
Okay.
Phenomenal. He's one of the best drummers. He's a legend already today. And then all that music was done by Terrence Blanchard and the Branford Marsalis Quartet. But you know how Wesley Snipes plays a shadow in that movie, and he plays the saxophone. And I thought it was amazing how he was able to learn how to manipulate the keys enough to mimic several solos of Branford's, very complex fast solos, and it looks pretty convincing. And so I thought, in my head, we were all trying to channel everybody at the Underdog.
Sure. Now, how hard is it to be a proficient musician? Can actors say, okay, I've got this screen role coming up in 6 months, let me just do a crash course and then sound decently, or that's not going to happen anytime under any circumstance?
You mean as far as just
how quickly can you get proficient, and then stand in front of a microphone and impress people?
Well, I think, 5 or 6 months might be easier if it's more vocal, if it's, if you're singing. But I think as far as playing an instrument, depending on the instrument, some are easier to, maybe if they're just faking it, that'd be easier than if they actually know how to play it. If they can learn a little bit on how to actually play the instrument, and what they learn is what they do in the film, then it can be played with a little bit to make it seem fairly reasonable. But if they were to, if they were just trying to kind of cover up and play with something else behind them that they can't play at all.
Sure.
Especially depending on the instrument, it'd be really hard to fake it. It'd be pretty easy to tell that you're not actually playing. It might. Well, I take that back. If you know what you're playing, like if someone who knew the instrument was then watching that, they could tell.
Sure.
But
Well, I am honored to have you guys here on Montgomery Focus, some young people doing great things who really do know how to play, and wish you best of luck. I hope you got a lot of gigs in your future that are lucrative, and that you remember your friends here at Montgomery Focus who were always there to support you. Thank you for joining us, and thank you, everybody. We'll see you next time on Montgomery Focus.
Thank you.